Welcome to the 1 Minute Apologist. We interview the world's leading apologists to provide credible answers to curious questions.
Jonathan, what is the gospel?
One of the great paradoxes in the Old Testament is how can God be just and simply forgive the guilty who should be condemned? There's a proverb in Proverbs chapter 17, verse 15, which says that he who acquits the guilty or condemns the innocent, both of them alike are an abomination before God. And so this presents an enigma. How can God fully acquit the guilty? He's perfectly holy, he's perfectly just, and as such, he must come against sin with perfect righteousness. And the whole Old Testament sacrificial system, where the Jews would sacrifice lambs, was designed to point towards Christ, and the Christ upon the cross became the ultimate sacrificial lamb, where he bore the fullness of divine wrath in our stead. He stood in our law place. He drank the cup of God's wrath in full, right down to the very last drop. And it was almost as if when he cries out tetelestai upon the cross, "It is finished, it is accomplished," that he turned over that cup and not one single drop fell out, for he had consumed the fullness of divine wrath in our stead. To give an illustration, times have told that nomadic tribes once roamed ancient Russia, and the tribe that ruled the choicest hunting grounds was ruled by a particularly wise and strong chief, who ruled not only because of his superior strength, but also because he ruled with utter fairness and impartiality. And when a rash of thefts broke out, the chief announced that the thief, when caught, would receive 10 lashes from the tribal whipmaster. And so as the weeks rolled on and the thief still hadn't been caught, he progressively raised the number of lashes to 40, a penalty that everyone knew he was the only one capable of enduring. And it turns out that the thief was his own aged mother, a frail old woman whom the chief loved dearly. And so speculation immediately arose as to, would the chief satisfy his justice and his integrity by having her condemned to the prescribed punishment, or would he satisfy his love and his compassion for his mother by having her released? True to his justice, true to his character and his integrity, he had her condemned to the prescribed punishment, but true also to his love and his compassion for his mother, just as the whip was coming down upon her frail body, he surrounded her body with his own, thus absorbing the fullness of his own justice upon himself, taking his mother's place. And so in an infinitely greater way, that is what Christ Jesus did for us at the cross of Calvary. And so by trusting in him and throwing ourselves at the foot of the cross and repenting of our sin and turning from our sin, we can enjoy fellowship with God, we can be reconciled with God, and we can enjoy eternity of fellowship with him.